today's mini lesson we're going to look at the Illinois Agility Test. The components of fitness that this assesses in a performer is their speed, but primarily their agility. With speed being the time it takes to cover a certain distance, and agility being the changing of a direction without loss of speed or balance. Before completing the Illinois Agility Test, it's essential for a performer to complete a sufficient warm-up. In this, the performer needs to raise their heart rate, their temperature, as well as including some dynamic stretches, in particular of their lower body. During this time, the assessor needs to be making sure that the equipment is safe, it's laid out correctly, and it's on a surface that's appropriate for the test. It should be a dry surface with plenty of grip, which the performer isn't going to slip over on. When completing the test, the performer needs to start lying face down in a downward phase of press up with their stomach on the floor, and they wait for the word go being shouted out by the assessor. The performer then negotiates the course, running up and around the marker cones. They don't just run and touch the cones, they need to run around the cones, which have been laid out in a 10 metre long and a 5 metre wide square. There are also 4 cones laid out 3.3 metres apart, running up the centre of this 10 by 5 square. The aim is for the performer to complete the circuit as quickly as possible, and the assessor stops the timer as they cross the last marker cone. The Illinois Agility Test is very valid because the faster the time, the more agile we can say the performer is. In other words, the quality of the result is directly proportionate to the quality of the components of fitness that we're testing. Once the performer has their results, they can then look at normative data tables and determine how well they've done according to their age and gender. They'll find out if their score was excellent, above average, at average, below average, or a low score. There are both benefits and drawbacks to using the Illinois Agility Test. We're going to look at some benefits first. So long as the performer or coach has access to cones, a measuring tape and a stopwatch, they can complete this test. Secondly, it's a very quick test to complete. What this does allow for is a performer to complete repeat test attempts, as long as they've had sufficient recovery in between, for the assessor to then average out the score that they achieved to get a more accurate result. And a third benefit is that it's very transportable. This test can be completed anywhere on a safe, appropriate surface. However, this test does come with some drawbacks. The first being the likelihood of human error. Firstly, the timer could inaccurately start or stop the timer, giving a false reading. And secondly, the performer may get the route wrong or slip over during the test, giving them a false time. A second drawback is that there are a number of variables that could influence the time a performer achieves, especially if the performer is getting average scores taken over a long period of time, such as a week. Changes in weather, energy levels, nutrition, or the surface that's being completed on could all play a part in influencing the score the performer gets. And finally, a third drawback is that this test does require the help or assistance from another person. The performer isn't able to self-administer this test, they will need to have someone who knows how to set the test up and knows how to correctly time and provide the results. So, to summarise the Illinois Agility Test, it's one which is completed to assess a performer's speed, but primarily their agility. The performer needs to complete a sufficient warm-up, and the assessor needs to make sure that the equipment is laid out correctly. Performers start lying on the front, respond to the timer saying go, and complete the course as quickly as they can. The faster the time they get, the more agile we can say that they are. The benefits are that it's quick, it's cheap, and it's very easy to complete. The drawbacks, however, are that there's a high risk of human error, which can influence the results. Changes to the test conditions, such as sleep, weather, surface, can influence the results as well. And the test does require the assistance of another in order to complete it accurately. So, thanks for watching. I hope you found that mini lesson useful. If you did, then feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can be kept updated with all of the video and content that we're going to be bringing. Alternatively, if you want to learn more about private tuition or the teaching learning resources that we provide, then visit us at thepetutor.com and you can reach out to our team. I hope to hear from you or see you soon.